and I believe in you. I believe in the simple things and everything you do. I believe in the heavens above, and I believe in truth. I believe in the love we have, because I believe in you. So tell me, do you feel the way that I feel? Then tell me, would you give what I'm willing to give? And I believe in honesty, and I believe it's true. And I believe if you set it free, it will come back to you. And I believe that things were meant to really be. And I believe in the love we have, because I believe in you.
Good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to UCY.TV for Cancer Kickers with J. Cynthia Brooks and guest Reverend Lynn today, Manifesting Desires. Welcome everybody, and first-time listener today, Jenny. Welcome. Glad you're been along today, listening to all the great programming here. Just a reminder that we here are on an exploration, and discovery, and information, and searching out information and ideas. What we talk about here is for you to decide, whether it be for entertainment purposes. We make no claims nor offer medical advice. And with that, welcome J. Cynthia and Reverend Lynn.
Hi, Benny. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. This is Reverend Lynn. I love your introduction. It's very, very nice, and I'm glad that I can be here again.
Great. It looks like J. Cynthia fell off, so let me go back and see about fetching her back up.
Okay.
I hope we are live, actually.
Okay. We are live.
I might need to go check the player and see if we are. But right.
Okay. Live and in person.
Yeah. Okay. Let me come in and get a little X here and see if I can't bring J. Cynthia back.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And for those of you listening, again, thank you for being with us on the Cancer Kickers program, and we will be talking about various things that J. Cynthia is going to direct us in today, and just in terms of, as Vince was saying, manifesting your desires, and that also includes manifesting excellent health, manifesting the ability to shift into a different way of living, a different way of being that promotes as much optimal health as possible. I don't know how many of you have heard Cynthia's story in reference to how she was able to move into remission from cancer, which was, I'm going to take the guess and say somewhere between 15 and 18 years ago, and how she did that through a change of not only lifestyle, but also through so many wonderful methods that she used. And I don't want to necessarily call them alternative methods. What I'd like to say is they are additional methods of being able to heal yourself and manifest a healing, as well as being able to utilize these things in conjunction with whatever other methods one prefers, whether it's Western medicine, whether it's Eastern medicine, as well as, again, a lifestyle change. And really, I would say the optimal way of any form of manifestation, whether it's in reference to your health or in reference to prosperity, relationships, a job, education, whatever it is, that there is always some type of a lifestyle change. And so what's meant by that is such things as reducing stress, for example, looking at all the stressors in your life and what are some of the ways to really cut down, if not eliminate, those stressors. And considering various things from meditation to eating differently to creating boundaries that are significant for you to honor who you are and honor others in the process, where there is an opportunity for you to have a different lifestyle and how you really respect and love yourself, and therefore how that is translated into loving and respecting others as well. So all of these are very important ways to shift and change your lifestyle in such a way that you can help manifest your desires. So, Vince, have you been able to get a hold of Cynthia? Is she on?
You know what? I keep trying to pull her in, and she comes up and falls back out. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Did contact her to a private message and asked that she try calling in, perhaps. But, yeah, Skype's been a real booger.
Okay.
Everybody fits, so
yes.
Something's different.
Yes, it still amazes me, and I say this every time. We have gotten men on the moon. We're, preparing to take men to Mars, and yet something as simple as just being on the telephone can sometimes be so challenging. So I'm sure that as technology continues to unfold and expand, we will find solutions for all of these things in a way that can serve the greater world community. I know sometimes it's just a matter of a tower being unavailable or inaccessible, maybe an area where there aren't as many towers, or weather plays certain factors, but I have faith and trust in the minds and creativity that men receive from Divine Creator to resolve some of these overwhelming challenges. So, but for today, we will just continue to press on. So I am pretty sure that Cynthia, as always, she's just such a sweetheart and a love, does want to talk about manifesting. I know she is she supports very largely the work of Abraham as channeled by Esther Hicks, which Abraham has been on the scene now since the 1990s that I'm aware of, maybe even longer than that, and how it's everything when it comes to manifestation, and again, including health, is about raising your vibration. It's about being able to uplift. It's about being and staying motivated and inspired and all of those things. And so the process of manifestation itself really is a very easy, if you will, I would say threefold process. One is to be clear about what your desire is, what you would really like to have manifested. Two, it's being able to envision what you would like to have manifested and to associate the feelings with that visual. In other words, oftentimes you'll hear how if the mind can conceive it and believe it, then you can achieve it, as stated so eloquently by Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich. And the mind is a very, very powerful, powerful tool, a magnifier as the Abraham Hicks describes and discusses as far as the law of attraction. It is only, though, a part of it, because although your mind can conceive it and believe it, believing that little component is also about feeling it. When you think about it, everything that you've ever remembered in your life, everything that you've ever held on to, whether it has been a good memory or maybe a bad memory or what have you, has been because there's an emotional aspect or element that is associated with it. We remember what we often have some kind of a feeling about. And the stronger the feeling, the greater the memory of that experience. And so when we go to manifest something, it is conceiving it, absolutely. But to believe it, we must also feel it. And feel it as powerfully as if it not will happen, but is happening or already has happened. And so when we move into that level of feeling, then we are able to achieve it because we're utilizing the power and from not only our mind, but where those feelings move us into a state of emotion. And so when you move into the state of emotion that's love, then you're able to attract to yourself from love. You attract love to you or what it is you'd like to have manifested, and you're able to then achieve it. And it just seems to be a very wonderful and natural flow. I know we have spoken about this before in terms of the aura, which is an electromagnetic energy field that surrounds your body, and electro as in electric, magnetic as in it does act as a giant magnet. And so if it's an electric type magnet, or think of a magnet that is totally alive, and it comprises your life force energy. And in every element and every aspect of energy, love is the base component. So when you're able to know that your mind and your heart are what really set the tone, if you will, for your aura or that electromagnetic energy field, that essence of your life force, the more that you're able to, through the mind, conceive it, through the heart, love and believe it to be done, then you're able to attract it to yourself. And I know it sometimes sounds easier said than done. And oftentimes people are like, well, how do you go about doing that? Because I'll think positive thoughts and I'll feel really great and everything's wonderful, but what happens underneath or what happens is, just the opposite. Why is that? Why am I always seemingly a victim of circumstance? And the actual response is you're not necessarily a victim of circumstance, but there are experiences that are very deep. Think of it as a well. At the top of the well is the water that may appear to be very clear and very bright and so forth. You drop a coin into it, and it's a positive action, and you're feeling great about it, and it's fabulous. What you may not see 26 feet below is that there's a lot of sludge and mud and twigs that have fallen to the bottom and leaves that have fallen to the bottom, and it's really quite murky and so forth. And so what ends up happening is when you go to manifest something, it is about having that clear channel, I'll call it a purity channel, where from the very top of that well, you would be able to see 26 feet deep because it's so clear all the way to the bottom. And when you have the sludge and the mud at the very bottom, it can be disturbed and it starts to bubble up, and it may get halfway up that well. It may get 3/4 of the way up that well once it's been, again, disturbed and things start rising and moving to the surface. But that may be so much of the underneath experiences that you have that they're part of what is being attracted to you, which may be just the opposite of what you have come to think about or feel on a surface level. But there are so many things, again, to be done as a way to start clearing out so much of that sludge and so much of that energy that is in opposition or is not congruent with what it is you desire. And you can bring in a pump and pump all of that stuff out in order to clear the water from the well, so to speak. And in doing so, you may discover that you're able to then attract, and you'll start to experience the attraction of some of the things that you desire. The pump I would equate to being a full, committed lifestyle change. And for each person, that would be something different. Again, some of the things that I mentioned earlier, it could be eating habits are different, your sleeping habits may be different, the people you hang around, you may eliminate people in your life that don't create boundaries, that make you feel bad every time you finish speaking to them, that may not support or validate you, that always seem to have something negative to say. You can make a lifestyle change by moving yourself away from those people. By creating a whole new set of friends, and even if it's family, not necessarily eliminating family unless you choose to, but cutting down on the frequency in which you speak to them, and changing the conversation, and providing ground rules even for the interaction and so forth, and that if they don't comply, then you will remove yourself from the situation. You have power and choices that you can make to do that as part of your lifestyle change. It may be to watch less television. It might be to listen to motivational and inspirational people much more often. It may be to not only meditate during specific times, and I'm a high proponent of meditation in the morning and the evening for a minimum of a half hour up to an hour, both times a day, twice a day, but also understanding that meditation and many of the techniques or things that you can learn are part of your lifestyle, meaning if you find you're very stressed, you can do certain things while you're standing in line at the grocery store. When your heart starts palpitating, and it's important for you to relax a little bit more. It's practicing these kinds of things in the heat of a situation or the intensity of the experience so that you're able to bring yourself to a place that is not only positive but also very neutral and that promotes your good health or promotes whatever the desire is that you have. And so it's making these kinds of, again, lifestyle changes. So that would be the equivalent of a giant pump, pulling out all this sludge and stuff out of the well. And consistently doing this and committing to practicing those things. It can also be you can take a long-handled net and start scooping as much as you can down at the bottom and pulling the stuff up little by little, bit by bit. It definitely is a process. And again, there are techniques for that. That would be such things as connecting with your inner child, connecting with your emotions, using your intuition. Everybody's psychic and has intuition, being able to utilize that. It can be interpreting your dreams in various ways and knowing that your dreams are really guiding you in some very significant methods and so forth. So there are all types of techniques and ways that you can start scooping this debris. That's what we'll call it. This old experiential debris. And that debris are belief systems that don't work for you anymore. The debris is how you have been conditioned through a process, maybe from childhood over and over and over, to think that life or you must operate a certain way. It may be programming because of, again, societally or in school or through your job, you hear the same thing over and over, so you start to believe that that may be true. These are some of the things that make up that sludge and that junk. And again, for every thought that you have, for every idea, for every belief system, for every person you interact with, you already have feelings associated with them. And those feelings translate into one of two emotions, either love, in terms of those feelings all drive you to love, or those feelings may all drive you to a state of fear. And fear is also a state that is counter-intuitive to love, which is the energy that all of our material world, our world that we live in and experience things in, it is all comprised on a core level of pure essence love. So anyway, I hope some of this helps you. And Vince, how are we doing with getting Cynthia on the line?
You know, I don't know what the deal is. She keeps falling off. I add her, or I was distracted here. I keep trying to add her, and she was trying to call in too, and she comes up and then falls off. So it may be that you and I carry the show for her today.
Okay, that's absolutely wonderful. I love it. Let me see if there is a way that I can also, and she does know to contact, to call in a different way as well, right? Because she gave me another number.
Here.
Okay.
There you are.
You got her. There you are. See, I don't know what the deal was. I mean, doing the same thing every time, and you would come up and then fall back off. So
anyways. Well, I tried to call into the station, and that's what was happening. So I just, on a lark, I thought I'd just try to call you personally, and somehow I'm in UCY TV.
Well, beats me.
Good. Well, that works.
Great. So we're all here, and I'm going to mute up and turn it over to you all and get ready for the next show. So y'all take it over. Okay. Awesome.
Thank you, Vince. You are such a prince. Thank you.
Vince is a prince.
Yes.
A handsome prince.
Ooh, tell me more.
You know what? As soon as I meet you in person, I have your crown.
Perfect.
I will definitely crown him, my Prince Vince.
Prince Vince, love it.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
So
I said woohoo.
Well, we got a woohoo out of him. We're doing good.
Exactly. Well, I have been spouting about manifesting, so I'm going to turn everything over to you now.
First question is, my first question was, how do I sound? Because I'm trying a different mic, and I just wanted to know how it's sounding. Is it too loud or too harsh?
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, y'all are doing really good. It sounds great on my end.
Perfect. Good. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cancer Kickers. Again, all of you guys who hang in there with us with these techno problems, because Vince and I did a show on Thursday. I was on his show on Thursday, and there was a couple dropouts, but it was a breeze. No problem. He could get right to me immediately on Skype. So, in a way, I'm kind of glad that this kind of happened, because now I just found another way in. One door closes, and I found another open door in Skype. So that's the manifestation right there. So
absolutely. And doesn't it always work that way? It's like, if one door closes, there's always another one that opens. It's such a wonderful design in the universe.
Yeah, it really is. It is. So I just, let's see, a couple of things. I want to do my thank yous. I want to put out a big thank you again to Carol Miller, and I want to thank her at the end of the show as well. She's been letting me stay with her, and she's just been magnificent and just so wonderful. And I wanted to thank again Lisa Smith out there for supporting us. She's doing really good, and thank you, Lisa, for all your support. She's just been one of the best supporters and most loyal listeners, and I found that she's doing really good, so I wanted to just have a shout-out to her as well. And, I have a specific question for you. First, I was kind of listening to UCY TV, and trying to figure out how to get in. So what I did hear was that, just for the record, Esther Hicks started receiving Abraham actually in 1986. And,
okay.
Yeah. And, but it was very private, just with Jerry, and he was videotaping, and Abraham, at that time she was having really, her body was having a tough time receiving that kind of energy. So they said she was flailing around quite a bit as she's trying to receive Abraham. And they joked, they said, these are videotapes you will never see.
For private viewing only.
Yes.
Well, I've got to interrupt here. I'm going to interject some from chat. First of all, pay attention, Coop. Damn it. Said your voice sounds familiar. I tell you, if you see her face, you'll never forget her. But J. Cynthia Brooks is a film and television star. A pretty long career, very impressive. And kudos to you. So there you go, Coop.
Thanks, Coop. Yeah. It's so funny. People. Well, what's funny is I was on Days of Our Lives, and thank you for calling me a star, Vincent. But you are a star. You are the star. And it's just funny because.
Wait, Cynthia, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh dear, how's this now? Am I still
Sounds
breaking
like
up?
you're breaking up through a tunnel.
It's coming good through here on my end so far.
Okay.
Okay, so Vince, is she still with us?
Yep. Sounding good on my end.
That's interesting that Lynn can't hear me. Lynn, can you still not hear me?
Wow. Lynn, can you not hear J. Cynthia? We may have lost Lynn. I'm going to mute up and go ahead and take it away, J. Cynthia. Let me go see what's going on.
Okay, yeah, it does sound like we lost Lynn. Man, this this show. No, I was just saying that it's always funny where people recognize the voice, the face, whatever, and it was very funny. I don't know, it was just, I hope you guys think this is funny. At first it kind of baffled me, and it did hurt my feelings a little bit. But then I got over it, because people would come up to me and say, especially when I was on Days, back in the 90s, and they would say, well, you look so familiar, blah, blah, blah. And I would say, oh, yeah, I'm on a soap opera. And they were like, some of them yelled at me. They were like, I don't watch soap operas. Well, don't yell at me. I don't watch them either.
How funny. Hey, we got Reverend Lynn back. Something happened on her end, and she fell off. But we have her back.
We are just dropping off the face of the planet like flies here, I swear to God. But,
yes, it does feel like someone has a giant fly swatter. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, but, and then I kind of put it together, or actually I got everybody that, especially when I was on Days in the 90s, people would come up and say, you look so familiar, and I would say, well, I'm on a soap opera, and some of them would yell at me. They'd yell at me, and I'm like, I don't watch soap operas, and it kind of hurt my feelings for a while there, but then my publicist pointed out, they said, because of all of back then, the soap opera magazines were huge. They covered, the aisles where you're checking out, right next to the other, not next to the other Bible's Truth, the Inquirer, next to the Lord's Word People magazine, and then you'd have Soap Digest and Soap this, Soap that, and she's like, they're standing in the, and I was on some of the covers, and they're like, they're standing in the grocery line, just kind of facing out, looking at those pictures, and that's where they're seeing you. It's like, okay, mystery solved. I know, it's bizarre. So, and what's fun is I keep posting like some of my old movies are on YouTube, and I didn't even know it. And so I keep posting them on Vinny's wall because he always gets such a big kick out of them. There's one horrible one in particular I'm trying to find, and if I'm lucky enough, it's shocking what people put up on YouTube. I never thought so. Actually, and especially because I did this film with Tim Curry and Annie Potts and let's see, some other big stars in there. And we shot it not far from where Vinny lives sometimes in Arkansas. We shot it in the Ozarks. We shot it in Eureka Springs, and Vinny lives not far from there. I forget where. But not far.
Okay.
Way out in the hills for sure, I'll guarantee
it. Perfect accent.
Yes.
So, I got to ask you a favor, guys. I'm so sorry I got so flustered with not being able to be on. Lynn, can you talk for about 2 minutes because I want to run into the next room and get my notes because I have a very specific question I think everybody's going to like.
Okay, sure, I can talk for 2 minutes.
Or maybe 1. 30 seconds.
Or I was going to say, just come back and tell me to shut up because I can continue to talk forever. All right, so I don't know where I left off, but for those of you that may not know me, I am Reverend Lynn Harriet DeVerges, and I have been a practicing metaphysician and a scene minister for the past 30 years, and I founded Center of Light Miracles, which is a center where there are several classes and opportunities to learn, not only in person, as I'm securing a location now, but also everything that many of the things I've taught are through audio and video, and I also do teleconference classes. So I have students all over the world, and we often discuss many things at length and in depth. And you can find out a little bit more about me at centeroflightmiracles.org, O-R-G, centeroflightmiracles.org. And I have put together a 30-day Creating Miracles plan. Which
is amazing.
And so if anyone wants to go on the website, on the home page is a banner at the top. Click on it where it says 30-day Creating Miracle Plan. Again, it's free, and you can sign up for it and begin receiving it immediately. And you also can have access to me through emailing me and sharing various things with me so that you're able to have questions answered and move forward in your process. So, okay, that's
Okay, somebody called in, and I went to add them to the call, the same as always, and it dumped us, so I'm back. Sorry. Call back, please, Jay, Cynthia, and Reverend Lynn. And in the meantime, 917 area code, yeah, I couldn't bring you in. It dumped us for some reason. So we'll wait for them to come back in. All right, here we go. We're going to take Jay, Cynthia, and...
I'm back. We got dropped again there.
Good, we got you. And, come on. They're not giving me the option here for Reverend Lynn to add to. So I'm going to just decline her and call right back again. Okay, Jay, Cynthia, go ahead. And I'm going to mute here and wait for Reverend Lynn to call back. Whoever that caller was, sorry, we're not going to take your call. I don't know why it's done that. Adding people to the call sometimes is dumping the whole network. So, anyways, go ahead, Jay, Cynthia.
Okay. Well, guys, one of the things that I wanted to talk about in the show today, of course, was
Okay, very, very weird. Don't know what's happened here. This time it dumped when I went to add Reverend Lynn. Okay, here comes Jay, Cynthia back.
Here I am, yeah.
I don't know what's going on. It's
you guys, yeah, thank you for hanging in with us, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's Skype. I'm not doing anything different. It's weird. But anyways, go ahead. I'm going to try one more time when Reverend Lynn calls back to add her. And if we dump again, I'll hang up and I'll open back up, call right back into Cynthia, and then you'll just go ahead and carry us out to the end of the hour then, okay?
Okay, you got it. You got it. Is it happening again?
No, we're good so far. She's not called back in, but for some reason...
Yeah, what's happening to me here on Skype is all of a sudden I'm getting this black box that says call on hold, and then it's there for a few seconds, and then it dumps me out again. So I'll just keep calling back in.
Yeah, we're good right now. We're out live right now, so...
Good. You guys, again, thanks so much for hanging in there with us. I hope you're laughing. I mean, this is getting too funny. This is a comedy of Skype instead of a comedy of errors. So I'm gonna do my best to get this out. Talking about manifestations and manifesting your desires.
Okay, I'm going to try one more time. Here's Reverend Lynn. I'm pushing add to call group, so if we don't, I'm going to go right back in, hang up and add us again. Okay, so here we go. Okie dokie. Yeah, that's, I don't know why it's done that. Jules says we may need the dreaded Skype update. I never update anything because I always try to sneak something in here. So I may have, Jason, Cynthia doesn't call right back in, I may have stuck myself right here to take us till the end of the hour. Otherwise, when we bring Cynthia in, I think we're just going to leave her alone and let her go to the end of the hour. And I have post to do her in about 6 minutes. So, here comes Cynthia. Okie dokie. All right. It's all you, baby. Take it away.
Is Lynn not with us?
Nope. It's dumping. She said she'd call back in 10 minutes, but I think I won't answer because it's for some reason dumping the call. And we may all have to do some type of Skype updates. Hate updates. Okay, but anyways, take it away, sweetie. It's all you.
Sure. Well, I tell you, and hopefully, Lynn, if you're listening, I did text you Vinny's cell phone, and sometimes somehow like that he can get you in, and you might want to try that if you're listening. But I'll tell you guys something interesting, and we're going to do this show again and really talk about this for sure. But Lynn said something really interesting to me not too long ago. It was actually last fall. And, she said that if you have a desire, it's because, and I hope she, I'm going to misquote a little bit, but if you have a desire, she says, your future self has already achieved it. And I found that so fascinating. Meaning, our last show we did together, we were really out there, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to wrap my head around dimensions and all that business. It's so interesting what we can learn and what we can't, certain things like physics come so easy to me, certain physics, but yet still trying to understand time-space reality and the future selves and everything's happening at the same time. All of that stuff I'm still working on. And I had a specific desire. And she said to me, Reverend Lynn said to me, well, she said, go into a kind of meditation and ask your future self or your doppelganger. Now, doppelganger is a scary word, you guys, because I've been researching this, and everybody's got, not everybody, but there are so many different meanings to doppelganger. So she meant it in a very, high vibrating, light being. So I don't want to use that word a lot. And she said your future self, and she gave me this exercise to try to communicate with my future self how to achieve this desire. so, interesting, and I'm chewing on it for a long time and thinking about it, and it does sort of spur a question, a big question that you guys all know that has been burning in me is like, do we really have free will? Because, and this is where this trips me up, that if my future self has already acquired this specific desire, then I'm going to somehow chase this desire and eventually manifest it. So to me, it feels like my destiny is already lined up. You see what I'm saying, guys? If it already happened in my future, then I guess I have free will. I could say, okay, I don't want that desire anymore, but what if that was to be true and I didn't want that desire to be anymore? Do you see what I'm saying, guys? I'm sorry, I got to go to Star Trek. My Trekkie fans, the original, those of us who are snobs and were the original Star Trek fans, the original series. I mean, what's that? Oh! I thought that was Gene Roddenberry's spirit piping in.
Damn it, Jim, I can't hold it much longer.
Well done.
I have to get through this. Damn it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, there was 2 different episodes. You guys, you remember the one where, Bones that got some disease and they're on another planet and they find the master of time on the planet and he jumps through and then he does something to alter the future and so there's no more, there's no more ship up there because he did something in the 30s. He jumped into the 30s, and you see what I'm saying? So this whole business of timeline and changing, and if I've already achieved this desire in my future self, how does that work? But what's interesting to me, so this is my other point about, is I happened just the other day to stumble upon, I was listening to an Abraham YouTube clip, and they said something that really, I couldn't get the exact time in which they said this. It wasn't that long ago, though. But it's going in alignment with what Reverend Lynn had said, that if you have the desire, your future self has already achieved it. Abraham said, and I wrote this down as a direct quote, another gentleman was talking with Abraham. They were in the hot seat talking with Abraham about having this desire. And Abraham said, the fact that the desire exists within you means a large part of it has already been accomplished. And I know they're talking vibrationally, and this is where we're all kind of wanting more information, and I want to hear from you guys on this. And I think, also is how to manifest the desire into the physical. And another Star Trek episode, you guys remember Trelane? Remember the spoiled Trelane? And, he was the master of matter into energy, energy into matter. And that's pretty much what manifesting your desires in the physical, right in front of you, smell, touch, taste, is kind of the same thing as manifesting energy into matter. And I know a lot of people, I'd love to hear you guys' different techniques, and there's a million different techniques, which I believe that's what makes it so complicated, that what's going to work for, this person is not going to work for that person, and it's just like curing cancer. And I know that, like, a lot of people are on this show are sort of like, well, what does that have to do with, curing cancer with alternative medicine? But it actually has a lot to do, because it is a strong desire, You can want a new car, you can want total health, you can want the lover, all of those different desires. And they're all different frequencies. And I know, I'm quoting Einstein, that Einstein said, if there's something you want, just find the frequency and match it. And he says, this is not philosophy, this is physics. I post that on my wall from time to time. And I'm aware of that. And for whatever reason, I stumbled upon how having perfect health, that manifestation, but then into the material things, it's a very different situation for me. And I want to tell you a funny story that I actually even asked Abraham. And well, for you guys, and the Abraham technique is just to relax and allow. Easier said than done, especially when you're a nervous, spun-up Virgo like I am. So is Lynn, but she's just not nervous and spun up. But I know that Abraham technique of step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 is the asking, meaning we see something we want, and whether we verbalize it or not, they're claiming that the universe hears it. Every time you've gone like, ooh, I like that, whether you realize it or not, it's noted. The Essenes, and this is why I wish we had Lynn here to pipe in, because the Essenes and many other philosophies talk about these files, the archaic files or something like that, archaic records, something like that, that every desire has been noted by the universe. So, you can't help but ask, is what Abraham says. We're constantly deciphering preference, what we would like for ourselves. And then step 2 is supposedly it's given. The universe gives it to us. Well, that's the tricky part. They give it to us vibrationally. That's what Ask is, and it is given. That was Abraham's first book, I believe, the first book they published, Ask and It Is Given. So it's given vibrationally, and so step 3 is allow it in. And they're saying that we are all crazy hung up on step 3. Trying to muscle it, trying to force it, all of these different things. And another interesting thing, this gentleman from the same, from the same clip that I was listening to, the Abraham clip, they were saying that the only reason he was wanting to manifest a big pile of money, so aren't we all? He wanted a nice big pile of money. And they said that it was already there vibrationally for him, and the only reason that it would not float into his experience is his constant noticing that it hadn't showed up yet. That was the only resistance that was stopping it. And, I think that's the tough part is, when the bills are coming in and, stuff is getting shut off, it's really hard not to notice that. And if anybody has a technique to not notice it other than taking a shot of tequila, I'd love to hear from them. But also what they had said was, which is interesting, I think you guys will like, and I'm reading this because I wrote this one down too, make the desire about the emotional shift, of feeling better. Because the only, and this is a direct quote, the only reason we think we want these things is that we think we're gonna feel better in the having of them. So Abraham's manifesting process is feel better first, and then it'll float into your experience. So, the whole sort of... Yeah!
Reverend Lynn's trying to call back in. Shall I try and take a chance of being dumped?
Yeah. Okay, everybody, get ready. We may get dumped again. This is like my love life.
Here we go. Okie dokie, and we're back. We'll wait for Cynthia though. Yep, there she is. So I don't know what the problem is. And here we go. You're back, Cynthia.
Okay.
Sorry, Reverend Lynn.
So we can't get Reverend Lynn in?
Nope. Skype's dumping her.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the deal is. I know it's not the network. It's either her end or Skype. So, but everything else is good. It just anyways. So we'll manifest her thoughts.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Did you mute up or am I dropped again?
Yeah, I muted.
Okay.
It's all you. Get it, girl.
Okay, well, yeah, like in this last 10 minutes that we have, well, the music comes in a little sooner, so not even. Again, if you want to go to Reverend Lynn's website and do that, I know, hey, Lisa Smith, again, shout out to you. She did it and had really great results with Reverend Lynn's 30-day process. Ian had amazing results. I don't know why he doesn't. I keep telling him, Ian Jacqueline, iCureCancer.com, he had some great results with that as well. And, because she makes you do these exercises every day, and so it's like there in your consciousness, if you know what I mean. So you're thinking about it, your thoughts are open. And there's another book that I don't think I can plug on air. It was very good, and I'll see if I can next time. But this author, he was really, really good. And he said, imagine that if whatever you're thinking in your brain, just imagine that your head was open like a book, like not gross and gory, just normal, opens like a book, and the universe is reading it. So that the universe is reading those thoughts. What are those thoughts that are constantly going on? Some people say, really pay attention to your thoughts and what's running and what's going. Abraham says you can drive yourself crazy that way. Pay attention to how you're feeling. And they've really been pushing this 2014 on the mood that you're in, the feeling place that you're in, what emotion is going on. They said instead of saying, I want financial freedom, say, I want to feel my financial freedom, and then they say it comes floating right in. So I'll keep you posted on, my results on this, because I'm really hitting it hard. Really wanting to crack this nut, no pun intended. So I do, again, I want to just get back to some thank yous real quick, and I do want to thank my dear friend again, Terrell Miller. Terrell sounds like Cheryl, but it's with a T, Terrell Miller. And I got to, she's been so good to me. I want to thank her and pump her work. Unfortunately, I got to do the legal stuff because she's everything, but she is extraordinary. She has a PhD. She's an extraordinary realtor, and she specializes in all kinds of foreclosure prevention, short sales, traditional sales, all kinds of real estate for over 25 years. But I have to say, her license number is 010199243, and you can find her at the website that's www.sanfernandovalleyandbeyond.com. And that's a great website. You can just go and look around. Nobody approaches you, nothing. So I just wanted to put that shout out to her. And also, if you want to contact me on my different Facebook pages, speaking of technical problems, we're still having a little problem with my website. The website is called Cancer Kickers, and, we're working on getting that up. There's been a bugaboo on there, but eventually my website will be Cancer Kickers. And you can reach me on Facebook, J. Cynthia Brooks House of Healing, or House of Healing, J. Cynthia Brooks. My other page is J. Cynthia Brooks Official. You can contact me there. I also have a Volara page, VOLLARA, which I have that page because those are the supplements that I took when I was curing myself of cancer, and I still take them today. And I think they're the best on the market, or one of the best anyways. I think they're extraordinary. That's why I wanted to have that page up there. And also, again, as I said on Vinny's show, iCureCancer.com is a great website loaded with information. You can see my interview from the documentary I Cure Cancer and all these different interviews. It's a wealth of information. And you can also, as I say, contact my secretary who owns that website, Ian Jacqueline, and he can get me to you as well. And again, thank you so much to Reverend Lynn for hanging in. And I know there's a lot of Reverend Lynn fans out there. So you guys, we are going to do another show, maybe even next week if she can. We'll work on that because and start chewing out these interesting things about our future selves and how to contact them and ask them for advice on helping us with whatever we want. It sounds really wonderful. I'm not having a lot of luck with it yet, but I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. But her website is centeroflightmiracles.org, and you can contact her there as well. And so, like I said, I really loved what she said, that because she had said that, the desire is within you because you've already accomplished it. And I loved that. And I also loved, I'm going to butcher this. I hope I'm not, but I may butcher this. Ralph Waldo Emerson says that you wouldn't even possess the desire if you didn't have the abilities to achieve it. And that one I really like, and I want to speak to everyone with their health challenges today as far as that goes. The one thing that I get, and Abraham said to me, because the first time I sat before Abraham in the hot seat, that was down in San Diego in 2000, I talked about my cancer experience because I was only a few years out of cancer by that time. And they said that what happened and when I said people, you know, when I decided to go pure alternative medicine, and that was 18 years ago, a lot of people asked me, weren't you scared to death? And I was like, well, yeah, but I did have, you know, who battled the fear with me was, I had Reverend Lynn. She was my rock. And every time that fear popped up, I would call her or you know, something and get in front of her, and we would battle that fear, because that energy does pop up. And it's okay. And, you know, if you look at it as it's a good thing because that's your survival mechanism, you know, in working as it should, that's a great way to begin to talk the fear down in the first place, is sort of acknowledging it and knowing, okay, I'm in fear right now. Okay, I'm a good survivor. This is my survival mechanism, you know, trying to help me and assist me. And right there, it kind of like calms it down just a little bit of relief there. So, you know, that's one thing you can do to battle that fear. But I just had this, like I've never had before. I just kind of knew in my heart, even though I was doubting myself like crazy, there was some kind of knowing in my heart that I could do this. And when I told Abraham that, they said yes. They said that a desire had sprung forth stronger than anything I had ever experienced before. A desire that knocked my socks off, unlike anything I've ever known. And because I turned my attention to the desire for perfect health and total well-being, it overrid any belief that I had that my body was diseased. And even though all of those test results were coming back, you know, that I was. And so I want to leave you guys with that and know that, again, it said that your wellness, when you're in real, you know, incredible disease, your total wellness has never been so present. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but what it means is that, like, this new desire, brand new desire has jumped up out of you of perfect health. And all you really have to do is sort of breathe and let that in. And also, as far as the desire for body health, what really helps that belief system, and Abraham, some of their techniques are spectacular in this, but there's a lot of science on this all over the place, is, you know, and this is what I'm pushing, is to start paying attention and start reading more about cell intelligence, cells' relationship with the energy that they call source energy, the energy that creates worlds, and just allowing that to be. And knowing that when there's pain, that is actually a great indicator, because that's your cells asking. And the tricky part is when the pain is there, they're asking and we're not allowing it. And that kind of gets in a circle because we're not allowing it because we're paying attention to the pain. That's why it's like I'm an advocate of just get out of the pain. You can get at least a glimpse. As Abraham would say, if your toe is throbbing, you can get a glimpse. And acknowledge, okay, for 1 second that toe, that it didn't throb, okay. And then for another second, and start piecing those together. And again, turning pain, you know, on its back and changing it around and saying, okay, this is a good thing. The cells are asking, and I'm doing my best to get out of the way and not paying attention to this, and let them do what they need to do. And of course, you know what I mean by not completely ignoring the pain. If you feel like this new pain popped up and you need to pursue it in any way, I support that. I'm talking about a very, very new way of looking at this. Deepak Chopra talks about it quite a bit as well. And that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Reverend Liz. Thank you, Vinny, so much. And thank you all for hanging in with us. See you next week.
Peace, y'all.
I believe in angels, and I believe in you. I believe in the simple things in everything you do. I believe in the heavens above, and I believe in truth. I believe in the love we have, because I believe in you.